Hello, welcome to our Catchpoint Internet Performance Monitoring demo. My name is Bob, and I am part of the solution engineering team here at Catchpoint. Catchpoint is the Internet resilience company. The Internet is your new network, and that means Internet performance monitoring is essential to your business. Analysts and customers agree that the benefits of monitoring your entire Internet stack can be staggering, including major increases in both revenue and customer experience, as well as operational excellence. So, what makes IPM so effective? First, IPM allows you to monitor from where it matters by putting your users at the center of the universe. This provides visibility into the hundreds of different systems that deliver your business products and services, and ultimately delivers what matters the most, your end user's experience. But IPM doesn't just determine if your systems are available, it will determine if they're actually reachable to your users no matter where they are on the planet. Catchpoint accomplishes this by leveraging the world's largest global observability network so you can truly monitor from your users' locations. We have nearly 2,500 vantage points around the globe across 90 plus countries and 300 plus cities. But it's not just the breadth of where we monitor from, it's the depth as well. We offer an extensive list of node types, from cloud based nodes to wireless, multi access edge nodes, last mile eyeball networks, as well as the backbone ISPs. These are the ISPs and transit providers that carry your end users' traffic. So we are independent and decoupled from where you and your applications may be hosted. So now that we understand where we are monitoring from, it's important to talk about what we can monitor from these locations. Remember, Catchpoint is the Internet Resilience Company, so our test types provide complete coverage across the Internet stack, from your applications to your APIs and third party services, across the Internet and through your network. So, no matter what your use case is, we provide the testing mechanism and vantage points to ensure your applications are available, your end users can reach those applications, that they are performing well, and that the experience is consistent over time. Now that we understand the where and what Catchpoint monitors, there's something that's even more important, and it's what we do with that data once it's been collected. Catchpoint offers a comprehensive set of dashboards, reports, and troubleshooting workflows to address all of your visualization requirements. Whether that's visibility into areas that are outside of IT's control, but still happening across the internet that's impacting your users, we have you covered with our flexible and intuitive internet weather monitoring capabilities. Our BGP dashboards will provide assurance that your users have a path to your network and the applications that are being delivered across your network. Our smartboards and dashboards provide real time insights into problem areas that need to be investigated more deeply. No matter where your users are coming from, we'll provide the correlating metrics across your page, your network, and your application to triage and understand where the problem is stemming from. Through intuitive experience scores, we can even help isolate workforce experience or employee experience issues by quickly isolating degradations down to the device, the network, or the application. We can even help you manage internal and vendor SLAs and SLOs with advance notice if a particular service level objective is in danger of being in violation. The result of having a global infrastructure of highly scalable monitoring nodes provides a reliable, trustworthy set of data that provides actionable insights. With the longest data retention period in the industry, Catchpoint's powerful dashboards and analytics engine makes it easy to trend, find, and fix problems quickly. In our next chapter, we will demonstrate a couple use cases that are covered under our customer experience solution. In this chapter, we will demonstrate how Catchpoint's customer experience solution enables SREs and DevOps to eliminate the blind spots across the internet stack. This enables organizations to become more resilient and minimize the negative outcomes that can occur when an incident or an outage is detected. As part of our demonstration, we will cover a couple different use cases, showcasing how to use Catchpoint to improve incident management strategies by detecting problems before your users are impacted. In this example, we are going to demonstrate how Catchpoint can increase customer retention, improve customer brand and reputation, and ultimately drive more revenue by ensuring that all your service impacting metrics across the internet stack are measured. By having complete visibility into how the digital service delivery chain works, you can ensure your applications are running on a more resilient internet. So as we take a look at the Catchpoint portal, we're going to walk through an example of monitoring a customer-facing application. In this case, it's a financial banking application. So what we've done in our portal is we've configured tests to monitor all of the different delivery components that make up that application, ensuring that we have availability, reachability, and performance to all of our users. We've done this by enabling traceroute tests that can validate the reachability of an application based on where our users are coming from, making sure that there's no latency or packet loss between our users and the app. We're also doing basic availability testing, ensuring that the application is up and running. We're ensuring that the DNS can be resolved from all of our user locations. We're running multi-step transactions where users log into the application and deposit funds. And we're also ensuring that users have a path through BGP to get to that application. So now that we have all of the testing in place, what does that data look like? Well, if we take a look at our dashboard, we can see first off the overall availability of the application. So from a services perspective, the application has been 100% available over the last 3 days. However, we have had a few errors or failures for users tried to deposit funds within our banking application. We have a geographic view of what the performance looks like from all of the different nodes and regions that we're monitoring from. And very quickly, we can understand that performance in the US is a lot faster than what we're seeing, overseas in either EMEA or APAC. We can determine any errors that have occurred during the last 3 days, whether it be DNS errors, connection errors, application issues, etc. As I scroll down, I can see a step-by-step view of each of the pages that make up that application, from login to going to the deposit page to actually making the deposit and logging out. And for each of those steps, I can determine my availability and what the 95th percentile or average response time or medium response time looks like. Catchpoint's unique infrastructure allows us to see customer experience based on ISPs. So no matter what ISP your end users are connecting to, we have the ability to determine the impact that that ISP has and the effect that it can have on user experience. And then lastly, we have the largest data retention policy in the industry. Our data goes back 3 years by default. So I have every single test example or test run that we've executed at my disposal. So anytime I encounter a failure or a performance delay, I can click into the particular record, and that brings up our waterfall data where I can now step through each one of those transactions. I'll have a film strip that shows us how that page rendered as the screen was loaded to the user for each of our steps. And I'll have an object level breakdown of every single element, whether it be the image, style sheet, JavaScript file that loaded on that page. And for each of those objects, I can look at the metrics that help us determine why a particular object or page was taking a long time to load. Was it a slow DNS lookup? Was it a slow time to connect? Was it a slow load time? So all of this data is right at our fingertips. Within 3 clicks, we can drill down from an availability or a performance issue down to a specific object that is contributing to a slower response time. In this chapter, we will demonstrate how Catchpoint's website experience solution enables web development and QA teams to improve their sites for performance, usability, and resilience. As part of our demonstration, we will cover a few different use cases showcasing how to use Catchpoint to monitor and optimize front-end performance. In this example, we are going to show how our web page test solution can help identify areas of application performance improvement from a front-end perspective. In our earlier example, we talked about this banking financial application, and we identified that there were performance delays on a couple different pages. With our web page test, we have the ability to truly understand what is contributing to those performance delays and actually get recommendations on how to improve it. So first off, we have identified several different alerts where the largest contentful paint exceeded a predefined threshold. From here, Catchpoint will make recommendations as to whether or not the first contentful paint, largest contentful paint, blocking time, cumulative layout shift, all the core web vital metrics are within acceptable industry level standards. We also provide insight into lighthouse scores, whether it be performance, PWA, accessibility, SEO, best practices. We can drill down into asset performance, looking at individual objects that are loading on the page, whether it be HTML, style sheets, JavaScript, images, and multimedia objects. We can compare and contrast performance differences between first-party and third-party content. Many applications today leverage services from dozens and dozens of third parties. What kind of an impact does that have on the experience of your application? And how much does that contribute to any performance delays? Anytime we identify a spike or a degradation from the norm, as always, we have the ability to click into a particular record and get a deeper understanding of what caused that page to take so long to load. Here, we're looking at our Bank of Anthos application running from one of our Amsterdam nodes, looking across several different device types, both desktops, laptops, as well as cellular devices. From here, we have access to our waterfall data, as well as the ability to click back into our industry-leading webpagetest.org. Here, from webpagetest.org, we have the ability to optimize the website through experiments and recommendations and tests to see how to improve certain characteristics of that page, whether it be first byte time, use of CDNs, compression of particular objects and media, and we will provide recommendations on how to fix that. In this chapter, we will demonstrate how Catchpoint's network experience solution enables IT and network operations teams to ensure that their users are protected from critical events and can navigate the service delivery chain. As part of our demonstration, we will cover a few different use cases showcasing how to use Catchpoint to ensure proper network reachability no matter where your users are located, as well as how to prevent losses from network and traffic routing issues. Continuing along with the theme of our banking application, in this example, we are going to show how Catchpoint's network experience solution ensures users have a network path available to access your application no matter where your users are coming from. In this dashboard, we are shown the results of a trace route that we're running from several of our public infrastructure nodes to the Bank of Anthos application. For each node that we're running from, we can identify the round trip time from that node to the app, any packet loss, and any jitter that occurred along the way. More importantly, as we scroll down towards the bottom, we have a hop by hop view from those nodes all the way to the eventual destination. In this case, this application is hosted in Google Cloud. So for each one of these nodes, I can see the path that those requests took, and if there was any latency, packet loss, or jitter that occurred along the way, we will immediately flag that, color code it, so you can hone in on that particular area. Here, we are identifying several locations where the packet loss and latency is degraded. From here, I have the ability to look at the underneath routing of that application's network traffic. Here, we've configured a couple different prefixes for our application. And leveraging a combination of industry level views like right views and risk, along with Catchpoint's real time BGP collectors, we can start to identify if there were any path withdrawals, new announcements, and worse off, any hijacks that have occurred all across the network. In this case, we have seen path withdrawals that were announced coming from a couple of our different collectors around the globe. This information helps us to understand that no matter where our users are coming from, that they have a path from both an availability and a reachability perspective across the network to access and interact with our applications. In this chapter, we will demonstrate how Catchpoint's application experience solution enables DevOps and IT leaders with an outside-in perspective to monitoring. This ensures that applications and services are available, functional, and performing well across channels of the end user experience. As part of our demonstration, we will show how Catchpoint goes beyond traditional APM and provides critical visibility across complex and distributed cloud application architectures. We'll also show how to ensure API resiliency across a mesh of first-party and third-party endpoints. Catchpoint's application experience solution goes beyond traditional APM, providing a critical outside-in perspective. With full DevOps lifecycle support and cloud application and API monitoring, you'll have the power to ensure your applications and services are available, functional, and performing well across all channels of the digital customer and workforce experience chain. All of this in real time. In this dashboard, we can see key performance indicators for some of our most critical business applications, looking at metrics like time to first byte, first contentful paint, and visually complete. We can isolate performance degradations to different geographies around the globe. We can monitor that experience across ISPs and last mile providers. We also have the ability to drill down and look at our top URLs, browsers, and operating systems that users are leveraging to access your applications. Not only can we monitor the end-to-end performance of an application, but we can also look at specific API service calls that provide critical functionality to the app. In this example, we are looking at the user login service for one of our banking or financial applications. By monitoring these API calls directly, we can understand what components impact the overall experience for a web page. Here, we are seeing spikes in performance metrics that occurred earlier in the day. Through Catchpoint's quick drill down workflows, I can quickly isolate where those problems are coming from, and furthermore, understand which components of the network or application were increasing that overall performance. Here, we are seeing significant wait times making that particular call, indicating a server side issue that occurred at this particular point in time. Catchpoint's observability solution provides actionable insights throughout all stages of the DevOps lifecycle, from pre production to release, as well as continual optimization. Our robust set of APIs provides streamlined operations workflows, achieving greater alignment between engineering, IT ops, and the business. We can help reduce toil with increased automation so that way your engineers can have more time to work on value based activities. In our last chapter, we will demonstrate how Catchpoint's workforce experience solution helps to ensure that your employees have uninterrupted access to the applications and services that are required to run your business. As part of our demonstration, we will show ways that you can understand and troubleshoot connectivity and reachability issues across the complex hybrid work from home paradigm. In this employee-based example, we are going to show how Catchpoint's workforce experience solution provides faster troubleshooting, reduces mean time to resolution and mean time to detection when your hybrid workforce experiences connectivity issues. Here, we're looking at a dashboard for one of our Catchpoint employees. Immediately on the right-hand side, we'll start to surface any potential problem areas that could be impacting that user. We automatically identify several different changes on a device or event related details to help you understand and correlate when a user calls in and reports a problem. In the case of this employee, we are seeing several instances where the network adapter is changing and connecting to a different band and channel throughout the day. We can also identify that the memory utilization on this device has been elevated for at least 2 hours of time. From there, Catchpoint will automatically identify to a particular fault domain where the problem is stemming from. So, as a help desk engineer or support engineer, immediately we will know, is it related to the application? Is it related to the network? Or is it related to the device? And from there, I can drill down into the respective area to get additional details and understand what might be contributing to a problem. For this employee, we noticed that their endpoint score was lowered at a 60 out of 100. And one of the primary drivers behind that is an increase in memory utilization. We can also see what their current signal quality is, as well as trend that over time. Furthermore, Catchpoint will capture all of the processes that are running on that machine so we can quickly identify which applications are contributing to high CPU or high memory. From a networking perspective, we can provide traceability from that user's device no matter where they are, even if that is someone working remotely, for example, from home or an airport, and we can trace any network connectivity, packet loss, jitter from that user's home machine all the way to the eventual application that we care about. In this case, this particular user is experiencing higher packet loss, higher jitter right inside their home. And lastly, we can start to look at performance from an application perspective. Here, we are monitoring both application experience, application performance from a synthetic standpoint, as well as a real user monitoring. So every time a user accesses one of the critical applications that they rely on to drive business, we can monitor their experience and their performance, and ultimately if they're getting any failures. We can complement that with a series of synthetic tests or proactive tests where we can run HTTP web checks or traceroute tests or ping tests to those same applications. So even when a user is not actively inside of the application, we can run synthetic or proactive tests to identify problems before they impact the user directly. Thank you for watching the Catchpoint demonstration. We hope this was informative, and we look forward to working with you and your organization going forward. Have a great day.